So today I'll be talking about Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what the hell, a Lego game? But I'll assure you, they're actually pretty fun games as long as you know what you're getting into. And I say that a lot nowadays, but again, you just have to know what you're getting yourself into. So with Lego games, I used to play them in the old days. I remember I used to play. I remember in the even as early as the early mid '90s, I used to play. Lego Island was really popular, but that was a really glitchy and poorly coded game. I remember playing Lego Racers. That was very popular amongst the school kids way back then. And you could customize your own racers and beat the racers, and you just keep going and defeating more and more bosses to unlock more parts. I remember I played this old Lego game where you would mine some gems in some caves. I forgot. Oh, that was Rock Raiders, I believe. Oh, those were really fun games. If you haven't played many Lego games recently, what the Lego games do nowadays is they're kind of like Telltale games in the sense that they use IPs from different industries. I don't mean like Telltale gameplay. No. But I mean their business strategy. See, what they do is they'll get permission to use certain IPs, like, oh, Lego Star Wars, this will actually have a game, and then Lego Marvel Superheroes, like, they'll actually be able to use all of the superheroes in the new Marvel universe. And so for now, I'll stick to talking about this game for now. The thing is, these new Lego games, they have a certain gameplay style with them. Like, if you go in trying to expect some kind of crazy narrative, some kind of Game of Thrones kind of story, you're not really going to get that here. Really, it's more of just they're kind of lengthy games. They're kind of I shouldn't say episodic. With this game specifically, no spoilers. It has an overarching plot, but it also has individual like episodes that make up the overarching plot. And the thing that's so interesting about this game is that it uses so many characters from the Marvel universe. It's like really crazy. Yeah, this game is, I wouldn't say it's low budget, but the thing is, it is kind of like the graphics are nothing spectacular. It's just Lego pieces, and the gameplay is very easy. It's just mashing buttons to win, and you just press quick time event prompts so that you can do special moves, this kind of stuff. And sometimes you solve puzzles once in a while because you have characters that can use certain abilities. So you need to, use a certain character that has a certain ability on a certain object. Like some people, maybe they can move objects. Some like one character, Doctor Strange, he can move the time forward and back to change an object's properties, this kind of stuff. The puzzles are nothing spectacular, but there are something that contribute to the gameplay. But I'll go back to my earlier point. It's just so amazing, this game, how many characters it has. Like, I don't know if you've seen this in the video, but you would have like a whole lot. Like, I want to say I can't even count this many squares on the screen. Like hundreds of, not hundreds, but like probably at least 100 of the characters from the universe. And the thing I like about this game is that, yeah, because it's low budget, it can afford to do this. And in this game, you'll actually see a lot of the lesser known Marvel antagonists. Like, I mean, most of the protagonists are known. Like most of these people, if the superhero that you're looking for is not in a big fancy movie, usually they'll have some kind of a Netflix or something more low budget, like maybe like a quick TV show or something. So you see most of the protagonists in the game elsewhere, but the antagonists, yeah, there's so many like little antagonists that you don't see anywhere else. I'm trying to think of a good example. Oh, I know. One example is that Hunter, a Craven from Spider-Man. Like, you never see him nowadays, but in this game you do. Now, again, you can't go in expecting some crazy narrative. Most of the antagonists, they'll only have, like, 2 or 3 liners, and that's it. Like, maybe, and then you'll have a quick boss fight against them, but again, the boss fights are nothing spectacular. You just have to mash the button, or just solve a simple puzzle in order to win against the antagonists. The game is pretty lengthy. I told you that this game it's kind of separated into chapters or episodes that make up the overarching plot. So there's 20 of them, and each one of those can take maybe half an hour to an hour, depending on how detailed you're going into it. This game is kind of like a collectathon. You have many things that you can collect, and it has so many unlockables. You can keep collecting Lego pieces. You can find golden bricks. and you can just meet a whole bunch of special requirements. I know that when you first visit a chapter or episode, when you first visit it, the characters that you're able to use is very limited, but you can go back and you can use different characters and newly unlocked abilities afterwards. This game even has a custom character creator, and you can make any character you want. Like, you can just customize all of the clothing and stuff, but you can even customize your character's abilities. So it's like, if you want to give your character super speed, that's fine. You want your character to fly, that's fine. You want want to be able to shoot electricity, that's fine. You can't do it all at once, of course, but you can just make a whole bunch of them, which each character that you want to use. That's perfectly fine. This game actually has an open world. Again, nothing spectacular. Don't expect something like Witcher or Grand Theft Auto, but this game actually does have a pretty decent sized map. Not big, but it gets the job done. And there's many little side quests that you can do while roaming across the world map. The side quests are not really spectacular. Most of them are pretty simple, repetitive, sometimes even grindy. One cool thing about this game is that you don't have to worry about grinding and stuff. It doesn't really have RPG-like mechanics. The game is very friendly for newcomers, and the difficulty is non-existent. And I mean that in a good way, because it is really meant to be a game for kids. But even if you're an older fan of not just Lego, but even just the franchise that the Lego game is using, in this case Marvel, even if you're a fan of Marvel, you'll like this game, I think. You'll see so many antagonists and you'll laugh, because I know an old-timer like me, I used to be so sad. Some of the characters in the Marvel universe were just so underrepresented, you know? You just never would see them, and you might have had one character you liked, and maybe you saw them in a old 80s or 90s show, and then you'd never see them again. Now it's kind of cool seeing so many of the old characters come back, even though it's not for a proper plot or anything. It's still fun, you know, just to see them, and it brings back good memories. The one thing I like is that, there's no stupid RPG mechanics, so you don't have to worry about grinding for weapons or armor. Some people might not like that. Some people like being able to customize characters' performance. In this case, it's not really necessary. The game is so easy. If you die, your character will instantly respawn. There's no punishment. You can try as much as you want. The older Lego franchise games, I know Lego Lord of the Rings and Lego Star Wars, they were kind of glitchy for me to play through. This game, it feels more polished than the old games. I haven't really encountered many glitches. I also noticed that in this game, in the old games, they really had no checkpoints in the episodes. Now, it depends which game you're talking about specifically, but at least for most of the games I played earlier in the franchise, there were no checkpoints in the episodes, and the episodes were still half an hour to an hour long. So in the old games, if you ran into a game-breaking glitch, you would just have to restart the whole episode. I ran into my game froze a few times in this title, and sometimes they would glitch out. Not as much as the old games, but sometimes they would glitch out once in a while, and I would not have to restart the whole episode. This game introduces checkpoints, which I never really see in these Lego games. So that's a really good plus. The developers are actually seeking feedback from the older titles, and they're just keep improving and improving upon the games. There is a lot of content in this game because of all of the collectibles. You don't have to do that. If you don't do all the collectibles and such, maybe this game would take about 10 to 15 hours to beat. It's actually pretty lengthy, the campaign and such. But if you do want to collect everything, you're adding a lot of time to your playthrough. But that's not for everyone. And again, some of the side quests are really repetitive in nature. It's just defeating a bunch of repetitive enemies across the world map, this kind of stuff. I feel like there's a few racing mini games too. I didn't like that much. But overall though, I mean, it actually is a surprise game for me. I thought, not much else to do. Let's try this title, Lego game. And the thing is, this isn't my first game since the 90s games. No, I played a few of those Lego franchise games, as I keep saying, Lord of the Rings and the Star Wars game, Lego Star Wars. And they all have the same mechanics. Similar mechanics. You just mash the buttons to win. Not in a bad way. It's meant to be relaxing, and it is meant to be a kid's game. But it's fun, you know. It's lengthy. It's fun. It gets the job done nicely. I'd say it's a I don't want to say it's a surprise hit, but I think that more people should try it. It's really fun. I think it's fun. You get so many fun references if you're an old timer playing this game, and I think that they do keep it true to the Marvel franchise, the Marvel universe, and such. And again, yeah, this game is not dated or anything. It's kind of like what you'd see with the new movies. It has the newer Marvel characters. Some of them are not the most popular characters, but I mean, I think it's still fun to learn about it. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of new Marvel either. I know they've been making a lot of controversial changes to the comics, and a lot of people just don't like it. I mean, as for myself, I'm not a big fan. I'm willing to tolerate it though, because the rest of the game is pretty fun. I don't like all the characters, but again, not all the characters are meant to be liked anyways. So yeah, if you think that what I said in this video would apply to you, yeah, consider like trying this game. It's surprisingly fun. Like it's not challenging, it's not like hardcore or anything, but the lore of the Marvel franchise and just like playing it, it's pretty fun. It's relaxing. If you have downtime, if you just want to kill some time, I think it's pretty fun actually. Yeah. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like, and also please consider subscribing to my channel so that you can be the first to see all of my latest videos.